Hello everyone, and welcome to my parents' backyard. This is the first episode that I'm hosting here in the backyard that I grew up in, my mom's garden. Welcome to another episode of Light Lessons with Sierra. This week we're talking about being fully present. Fully present. Some of you saw that I took a journey from New York to Colorado, and we didn't fly. My dad came out to New York and drove with me back to Colorado. It's an almost 30-hour journey to do that, drive across all these different states, watch the scenery change, watch the different cultures. Actually, as soon as you leave New York, it's like a whole other culture. But as we were driving, I was really thinking a lot about what is coming up for me as we're driving, as we're taking such a long journey. And the thing that came up for me that I knew as soon as I got to Colorado, the first episode I want to host from here is about being fully present. And that's because when you drive, as opposed to fly, you get to be fully present with the way that everything changes, the way the scenery changes, what's going on around you, fully present with the person in the car with you. My dad was driving the whole time, and I was taking care of my cats. I'm present with them. They are present. They were so fully present and focused on what is going on around them, and oh my God, the floor is moving. I listened to a podcast a while ago, and they were talking about what it means to actually be present. What does it mean when someone's saying be present or be in the moment? What does that actually mean? The answer was another way to think about being fully present, or a way to define it, is to actively notice. So actively notice what's going on around you. I'm actively noticing the amazing feeling that this garden has, the bees that are literally all around, the flowers. There's these amazing morning glories here that open up right in the morning, and when it's too hot, they go like this, and at night they go like this to protect themselves. What if I was just, down on my phone, not being present at all times? You miss out on so much, of course, that nature has to teach us and each other. So, of course, driving all that time with my dad too, I was never on my phone. He's never on his phone. We got to just have an amazing time and talk and listen to music and sing, and that is being fully present. I just love this light lesson so much. It's one of my favorites. On the light lesson, you see that there's a clover. And those of you that know me know that I find 4-leaf clovers wherever I go. Wherever I am, guaranteed, if there's a clover patch, I'm gonna find a 4-leaf clover. When we were coming up with the design for this, we knew that we wanted to put a clover on here, but we decided to put a 3-leaf because the idea is there's so many 3-leaf clovers around, but if you are fully present and actively noticing, you will find that one special one. I don't necessarily like to say the special one because then I'm saying that 3-leaf clovers aren't special, but you know what I mean. By being fully present, by actively noticing which one is different, which one is unlike the others, then I find my eye goes right to it. So that's why there's a 3-leaf, just as a little reminder that if you actively notice, there might be a 4-leaf and you just didn't realize. And you can apply that with anything. If there's something that comes up for you, people talk about spirit animals, different plants that you love, or when somebody makes a comment, you are noticing that because you have been present, fully present with that enjoyment of what that is in your life. And then you see it or hear it, and it's a coincidence that comes to life, and it's just the most amazing thing. Another thing that's been happening as I got to Colorado, and the reason I wanted to go to Colorado was I just wanted to be in nature. I wanted to be able to just be in my yard and spend time with my family so that I can be just fully present in the moment with them, and I never get that opportunity, and some of you might not get that opportunity as well. And with quarantine and with COVID still happening, just actively notice what your gut is telling you that you want to be doing or where you want to go. I've been spending time with my little sister in the garden, and all of a sudden I heard a noise behind me, and it sounded like a buzzing. It sounded like a big, huge, fat old bee, like a big old bee, like a big old bee. It was like buzz. And when I looked, behind me was a hummingbird, and it sounds like a bee because her wings are flapping so fast. So if I hadn't been being present to the sounds around me or anything, I would never have known. Or if I freaked out, I would never have known that there was this beautiful hummingbird that was literally right here just coming to check me out. So I just really want to say all of this stuff to encourage everybody to think about what it is to be fully present. Another question to ask yourself is, where is it worth actively noticing? Where is it worth taking the time to be fully present? The only places where I find myself not wanting to be fully present is a place where I can feel that it's depleting me or upsetting me to a degree that is not healthy. So I don't want to be fully present with that, but I want to be fully present with what my feeling is around it. I want you to be fully present with what your feeling is around it. If something is making you feel some type of way, be aware of that, have a complete awareness, and then make a new choice. I don't believe in boredom. I think that boredom is a choice. I do not wish to choose boredom in my life. And that is because I think when we say, oh, I'm so bored, that is literally taking a big old dump on the moment that you're in. There is always something to be fully present with, to actively notice, to be in the moment with. If you're watching something and, oh, it's so boring, there's always something. The way that it was lit, the way, like any little thing, the way that people talked, what they're wearing, like just get yourself engaged in something else. There just is always another choice. So be fully present with what is, and it's very hard to be bored, I find. The Marination Station for this week is, you're on your phones maybe right now, you're on your computers right now. I'm gonna ask you to take time away from that this week. Get off the grid for a second. You don't have to be fully off the grid this entire week, but just catch yourself. Be so fully present that you catch yourself when you've just been scrolling, doing mindless scrolling, mindless anything. If you are in a conversation, be fully present with them. Don't do this at the same time. I think this habit that we have of this, and I totally get it and I do it too, but I think this habit completely takes away from being fully present with each other. And I can feel us also as a human race, we are collectively wanting to come back to the being present with one another. So be fully present. See if you can find the 4-leaf clover in who you're talking to, the 4-leaf clover in the moment that you're in. It doesn't have to be a literal 4-leaf clover. It can be just the specialty of the moment that you're in. That's what I got for you this week. I am so excited to be hosting a few of these from my parents' house here in Denver, Colorado. I'm so glad to be home. It feels like just a breath of fresh air, and I would be doing myself a disservice by not being fully present with each moment that I get to have during this time where I have time off. I would encourage everybody, wherever you are with whatever is happening, the world is changing so much. Stay as fully present as you can with your emotions, with the people around you, with the things around you, with your apartment or your house or wherever it is that you live. Just be fully present with what this life is trying to teach you. Because as we know, if we don't come out of this quarantine and COVID time with a more loving and kind mindset than when we came into it, we missed the whole point. So don't miss out on the time that we have to just be and be fully present with this life. It's got so much to teach us. So much to teach us. Told you so.